Hey, this is Fate212 and I'm Nafka, and today, early this morning, I wanted to talk about this Black Label RJ16 case. And the reason I'm here to talk about it is because I just got back from Valhalla yesterday, and this baby has been through TSA twice. Okay, so this was checked in through Delta Airlines, and I thought we'd take a look at it. Okay, so here is my TSA lock. TSA can open these, and you can buy these pretty much anywhere. This one cost me like about $12. So they're really pretty inexpensive. The case itself, of course, everyone knows it's about $4. So you can see, I just did get back to the airport. I have not yet opened this and checked my models inside. So this will be a test to see what exactly happened. Now on the way there, I did have a little bit of an issue. I snapped two bases inside this model, and that was mostly me. They were my Raiders, because I didn't put anything underneath my Raiders. These are like 17-year-old bases that I'm concerned about. So looking here, this is my Dark Warrior tray. This holds 104 models, and okay, I have one broke, but I don't remember if that was the one I did not fix. There was one that I did break while I was actually at Valhalla, and I think that's probably him. So everything looks good there. We're going to pull the first tray off, and then we will look at the second tray. This is my Eldar and Grey Knight tray. I'm looking around. Okay. You know, I have one very vulnerable piece. So the demon hammer has got to be put back on. That thing comes off all the time, but still, so I'm still looking pretty good. I feel good about it. TSA was throwing this thing around with on their mechanical arms. This is, of course, the big one. This is the one that I'm concerned about the most. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpack a couple of these, and we will check them. They all look like they're standing upright. That none of them have vanished. And that's what the issue was before, is I didn't have anything underneath any of the models, so that they had snapped. And it looks like I still do have a couple that snapped from this thing being thrown around. But the model itself is in good shape. I guess this is a good lead-in for me to get new bases, because these bases have just been ridiculous. They break sometimes when I even pick them up normally. But the model's okay, so it looks like I just need to rebase that one. And I'm going to grab one more of these, and the rest I will do later, because it makes horrible video for me to unpack all of these. I'm not sure you can even see in there, but I do have stuff underneath where these models were. And there's a base that survived. So the case is doing really well. And just as the tiebreaker, I think that most of them look like they're upright. And this is very similar to what I had going to Valhalla. I just had to fix a couple bases. And I'm going to be changing my bases anyway. There's a product out by Hawk Games or whatever that I will be talking about. And they do something really wonderful for Dark Eldar fans. It's not for Dark Eldar games, it's for their own game. But the way they do their bases is drop dead beautiful and fantastic. you do not even need to glue the Raider onto the base. And they actually stay. It's a very solid base. So anyway, I've done several of them. Maybe I should check a row here. So, but Hot Games is the makers of Drop Zone Commander. And they make a base that all you got to do is, it's got a little insert underneath. Okay, see, all the spikes and everything are all good. The base is good. And I know this is harrowing video here. I mean, everybody's on edge, right? Everyone's like, come on, come on. I know that we've got one left. Let's see if you can get, a whole row done. And of course I've got hooks in here, so I'm being very careful when I get in here and reach. Anyway, that hook actually went into that foam, and that's why I couldn't get it out. But so there you go. Out of a row of 6 of them, I had one snap. And I'm thinking that it looks like the exact same here on the next row. So that's not bad. Okay, so I'm going to pull this tray out. And you can see that this is a 6-inch deep tray. I mean, these are really non-transportable models. They should not ever really ever be transported with these, with these old bases. So I'm pretty impressed with that. I was worried that I would open it up and you were going to see like every single base snapped. A couple of these loose spears, all the way up here with the dark Eldar spears. I was worried that those would be broken, or that my sails would be snapped. But not a single snail has a sail. There's a word problem. Uh-oh, I think I have some loose bases. I can't see in here very well, unfortunately. What if I can move to a better spot for light? It's still dark. Anyway, there's some loose bases in here, but I think those are my loose bases. Okay, no, I had a Venom snap in here. So I had some bases snap that were glued on. Okay, there we go. So bases are my only issue, but the models themselves have done really well. And I'm going to tell you that the flight home, I mean, this Delta airline pilot was a maniac. He skidded across the runway. It was one of the worst bumpy flights I've seen. And I don't fly very much, okay, but it's probably the bumpiest flight I've had. It was a little bit ridiculous. So, I mean, I imagine these things were thrown in there to begin with by TSA. I mean, look, okay, look at this, for instance. This is how much of a bumpy ride these models got. So this is a good test. This was closed and shut and snapped closed when I left. And it's open now. And a dice actually came out. You know how these have that little locking mechanism right there? The ride was bumpy enough, and this thing was thrown around enough that this was actually open inside my case in this little compartment. So, am I happy with the case? I've got a few miscellaneous things to put back together. Even had dice come out on my lower level. So, am I happy with the way this case turned out? I think so. I think that overall, I had some bases snap. It looks like I had 4 bases snap, I think is what it looks like. So, did the case pass my expectations? Yes. This thing will stick around for a long time. There are scratches, on this case. It's a hard shell case. In fact, there's quite a few scratches on it from this last trip, this last flight that were not there beforehand. Even this, there's even a pretty deep, I don't know if you can see it, scratch here that goes all the way along up here. This case was handled very roughly by TSA this time. right through here. See all this? That was not there from the first trip. So these guys really beat this case up. So I'm very lucky, I think, that not more was destroyed. So anyhow, this video's been going on for a long time, and this is Fay 212, and I'm Nazca, and I'm going to be having some news here in a little bit. So stay tuned. Thanks.